It's that time of year where you're talking about business planning. I've been watching it with Kevin and Amy. I've been talking with all the managing brokers. I know they're setting up appointments with a lot of you. And I just want to emphasize that 2021 was a phenomenal year. Almost all of you sold more real estate than you ever have in your life, or significantly more than 20 and 19. And although I know you're great and special, I do know that if everybody's doing great, it's because of the market. And we know what COVID fueled the spring market, which effectively lasted 9 months in 2021. So the good news is you had great years, you made a ton of dough, and your business is booming. The bad news is that you got used to that, and you got used to those big volume. And so in reality, without that same wind behind you next year, everything that you're doing right now is going to dictate how well you do next year. So if I know a lot of you are saying, I'm going to grow my business by 20%. How are you going to do that if the wind cools behind you? So I just have a few things that I'm going to suggest. There's lots of other good ideas. Listen to all of them. Pick and choose the ones that are most important and interesting to you, and the ones that you're absolutely going to put all your energy into what? Completing. So number one, go deeper, not wider. That's what Kevin and Amy say. What does that mean? It means the customer feels very close with you while you're doing a transaction with them, whether you're representing them as a buyer or a seller. After that transaction, that feeling goes down over time because you're less important, you're not interacting with them. How do you stay relevant to them and maintain that high level? You can't do it unless you're continuously reaching out to them. They got to receive a direct mail every month, look at your face, throw in the trash, affect their cerebral conscious in their brain so they remember you, get a gift from you every once in a while, get a phone call, outreach, 32-point touch plan, whatever. You need about 150 people, 100 people that you're doing that with, and you will for sure grow. Everything else is important, AdWorks, promotion, direct mail to farm. But if you had to do one thing perfectly, it's that sphere of influence relationship management that is a numero uno. Number dos, set financial goals. So there's two main things in business. You want to empathize and remember, is this customer that I'm servicing, if I were that customer, would I be happy with my service? Would I be happy with what I'm providing? And number two, don't be cheap. That has to do with investing in your business. So if you really want to double your business, grow by 20%, grow by 50%, get organized and allocate 20, 40, 50, 100% more to invest in your business to grow next year. I would argue that a lot of the business we got this year was fueled by post-COVID, pre-COVID, the COVID drive. Next year, that's going to continue to wane. It's going to decline. You got to replace that by investing in your business in an organized way, communicating with your sphere of influence and going deeper, and also branding and marketing your relevance so that when they think of Amy Core, Thad Wong, Kevin Van Eck, first thing they think of is real estate, and then you gave them a gift or did something to remind them that they're there and special to you. You got to be special to them too, so they send you that referral. So invest in your business, don't be cheap. Number three, up your game. So in the Great Recession, when everybody was closing offices, letting go of staff and hiding out, Mike and I upped our game. We opened offices in the North Shore, we invested more into technology and marketing, and we grew. It wasn't easy, there wasn't a lot of revenue, it wasn't like surplus agenda, but we grew, we did everything we could to beat our competition when they weren't paying attention. Same as COVID. When COVID happened, Mike, you got enough emails from him. If you probably did a search, there were more emails from Mike than your spouse or your best friend about PPN, how he could help you set you up with small business loans, because we didn't know if it was going to be, it's either sink or swim. He had to swim. I worked on redoing our signage, creating a new listing presentation. So we upped our game when the chips were down. Next year, I think we still have a very, very good market, but you're not going to have the same wind. It's going to slowly be declining throughout the year. So my first suggestion on this one is the digital listing presentation. We have probably never developed something that as immediately was used as a point of differentiation in listing presentations and been as successful. If you've never done it, that's crazy, do it. But right now, I suggest you spend 10 minutes, create your own perfect listing presentation digitally so that when people call you and say, I'm thinking about selling, or can we make an appointment, that you literally crank out on your phone and send them a DLP within 5 minutes. That's impressive. I call you and I say, hey, Amy, I'm thinking about listing my home. Can we set up an appointment, or I just want to be on your radar? And literally 5 minutes later, I go, boom. Amy sends me a digital listing presentation. I know Amy is better than everybody else because I just got a call back, by the way, from a real estate agent I left a message for 2 weeks ago. That's your competition, but don't just beat them a little bit, smoke them. Number 2 of 3, scale for the growth you anticipate. If you're sitting here telling me, hey Thad, I think I can double my business, I think I can grow by 50%. Well, I know, and you know the way you felt this year when you were scattered and you were running around. If you're gonna sell more next year, that's your goal, and that's what you're marketing and investing in, how are you gonna scale that so you don't go crazy? Do you already have an existing relationship with other agents to help you? Are you using Ad Assist? Are you using Showing Concierge? Set your stuff up now so in February when you're rock slammed, you're not going, oh wait, and you're backed up and you don't have the relationship and you're not set up and you're scrambling and taking more time to organize yourself. Organize and scale your business for the business you anticipate. What's the worst that can happen? So thrice of 3. At the beginning, we talked about going deeper. How the hell can you go deeper if you don't know who to go deeper with? And if you've got 100 or 150 A's in your CRM, seriously, how are you going to be able to find them out unless you've already gone in and tagged them as A's? So organize your CRM now. Select who are your A's, who are your B's, who are your C's. So that way, heading into next year, when you're planning a direct mail, you're planning a cap gift, you're organizing your daily phone calls, make sure your CRM, you go in and you can just type in A. And here are all my greatest people of A's that are going to help me get my extra 20 or 50%. Organize your CRM so you know who you're supposed to be reaching out to first. And those are your A's. And if you didn't attend Kevin and Amy's 4 business planning workshops they had in October, they are all on video and at Academy. I would encourage you, instead of watching Succession or Billions or whatever you watch, punch that in for half an hour. There's incredible content in there. Jot down the couple of things that you can add to your list that you're planning on doing. Those guys put a lot of energy into it. They did a lot of the work for you. So you don't need to rethink anything. Just pay attention to them, watch their videos, and come up with your own plan. So hopefully you're watching till the end. And if you are watching till the end, thank you. And I really wish you a lot of success next year.